Marvel fans know this already, but the movie Black Widow just came out on Disney Plus and in theaters. So that got me thinking, what kind of project could I make from this movie? Which is why today, everybody, we are going to be making Black Widow's TASER batons, also known in the Marvel community as her Eskirma sticks. Now, before we get into this project, let's look at some of the footage from the movies to see what kind of project we're really getting ourselves into. Now, the first thing that I see is that Black Widow uses these batons as a melee weapon. We're going to be making this mainly out of cardboard. Another thing that I see is that she uses these weapons as a taser. There's these tasers at the end of the baton that can shock opponents. Now, we've done something like this before. I think it was the THOR hammer project. Definitely check that video out. I'll put the link in the description below. But basically, we used a shock pen just like this one, which produces a shock when you press the button on top of the pen, and when you press it, it produces a shock that will shock anything that's making contact with it. Now, we could do that again with this Black Widow baton, and a few circuitry things will need to be done with it to make it work, but I think we can do that. Another thing that I see with this project is that it glows. In the movies, Black Widow's batons do have lights, 3 lights or a couple lights near the top of the baton in a ring shape that do glow. We can use these lights right here that I found on Amazon. I'll also put a link to them in the description below. That being said, there's not much else to it. It's going to be a pretty easy project, so let's get to it. So the main thing that makes up this project is cardboard. Now, along with the cardboard, we're going to be having plastic scraps lining the lights so that the lights can shine through. Now, to make everything black, we are going to be using flex tape. Now, flex tape is a really refined, really sturdy, and really nice duct tape brand that fortunately donated some duct tape for me to use, and we're going to be using their tape today for this project. I highly suggest getting their duct tape. I will leave a link in the description for you to buy some, because it's super sturdy, it's super durable, and also really nice looking. Now, for the lights, we're going to be using the Silopex string lights. Now, these come in a pack of 10 for like $6. I will leave a link to it in the description below. They're super cheap, and I use them a lot in my channel, so if you're going to make a project from here, I suggest you buy it. And now for the shock pen. So the shock pen, it works. If you press the button, it produces an electric shock. But only if you're holding the pen and the button at the same time, because that's how the charge works. Now, to make it so that you just poke someone and it shocks them, we will have to use a metal rod. You can find them in recycling bins or at craft stores, and we will need to use copper tape to tape them to the pen. That way, when you're poking an opponent, they make contact with both the top of the pen and the metal rod, which is connected to the hilt of the pen.